PlayStation is one of the biggest brands in gaming. There have been 5 main PlayStation consoles as well as a few handhelds, leading to plenty of games becoming classics. But what are the PlayStation games you never got your hands on, and you probably never will? Welcome to Chaos Gaming, everybody. Today, we're going to be checking out 5 of the rarest games ever released for PlayStation systems. You guys let me know if you've actually seen any of these. If you've ever owned any of these, that would be even better. Drop a like, make sure you have those notifications completely turned on, and here we go. Ocean Commander. Now, most people remember Ocean Commander coming out on the Wii and the Nintendo DS, but there was a very limited run of PS2 ports, and those, well, they now have a hefty price tag attached to them. Ocean Commander was an aquatic-themed shooter, shocker, I know, with you piloting a submarine and shooting a whole bunch of enemies and a whole bunch of levels. It wasn't anything special. Some people thought it was actually pretty crappy, but despite its lack of popularity, the extremely rare PS2 version has become a collector's item. Ocean Commander was released globally on the Wii and the Nintendo DS, but the developers rushed through a PS2 version exclusively for Italy in an attempt to capitalize on their demand for cheap video games. Now, despite it being released as a budget title all the way back in 2008, PS2 copies of Ocean Commander are now going to cost you about $600 a piece, depending on the condition of the box and the disc. So for comparison, you can find Wii copies of Ocean Commander for $10. At number 4, Monster Kingdom Jewel Summoner. The PlayStation Portable was a cool idea, and it was impressive in terms of hardware, but it didn't sell well. Most of its games can now be found for under $10. However, there's a few limited run games for this now defunct system that will cost you quite a bit of money, assuming you can actually find a copy. Monster Kingdom Jewel Summoner was a turn-based RPG. It had you roaming around a world where humans and monsters lived in harmony, but you could still capture wild monsters and use them in combat. Kind of sounds like Pokemon, doesn't it? Now, the technical aspects were far and above anything Pokemon was doing at that time, but the story and the gameplay was lame. It led to many people forgetting it even existed, but due to its lack of success and low sales, it's now one of the rarest games on the PSP. A new in-the-box copy of Monster Kingdom will run you over $100. Now, that may sound low compared to other games on this list, but in terms of actual quantities produced, it is rare. At number 3, Garfield Saving Arlene. I'm serious, one of the rarest PlayStation games of all time was a Garfield game. Developed by EKO Software, released 15 years ago for the PC and the PS2. Garfield Saving Arlene is a 3D action platformer like most licensed games in the mid-2000s where you played as, yes, Garfield the cat, running around various locations trying to help out his friends. Game wasn't horrible, but it was such an obscure game, and Garfield not really being a big name in the gaming world, a very limited number of copies were manufactured. Today, used copies of Saving Arlene will fetch up to $100, and if you want a new one in good condition or still in the box, get ready to spend about $300 for Garfield. At number 2, Revelations Persona. Now, today, the Persona series is very popular. Many consider Persona 5 to be one of the best games of the decade. However, the series has been lurking around since the 90s. And due to its recent explosion in popularity, the original Persona game for the PS1 got really expensive. Released in '96, it was a spin-off to the Megami series, and the developers weren't sure how successful it would be, which led to a pretty limited run of PS1 discs. It was later ported to the PC and the PlayStation Portable, where it got a lot more sales, but the original run of PS1 discs are now highly desired collector's items. The original run of Persona can now cost you between $400 and $500 for used copies. And if you somehow find a brand new unopened copy, which you're probably not going to, you should be ready to drop at least 4 figures. I saw one brand new copy on eBay for $12,000. I'm willing to bet it's not actually going to sell for that much, or maybe it will, you never know. Persona fans are pretty passionate. And at number 1 today, Rule of Rose. That's right, a survival horror game you probably never even knew existed. Released for the PS2, it was heavily inspired by Silent Hill in terms of gameplay, but it took most of its conceptual influence from the Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and most of the story focused on young children. Now, I don't want to get too into details of the game because frankly I'll probably get demonetized, but let me just say, the description one more time. A Silent Hill-inspired horror game that mainly revolved around young children. Needless to say, there was a lot of controversy leading up to the game's release, and it even got canceled in certain countries due to the moral panic surrounding it. In the end, the game wasn't as bad as the panic made it out to be, but it is what it is. A result, original prints of Rule of Rose are now some of the rarest PS2 discs in the world. Used copies can go for $800. I've seen brand new unopened copies go for well over $1,000. Now, Rule of Rose is now one of the rarest games in history, And it goes to show that sometimes the moral panic can backfire. This game could have come and gone and poof in the wind, but now it's cemented in gaming history forever. And there you have it. Those are 5 of the rarest PlayStation games ever made. You guys let me know if you've ever actually owned any of these. That would be really cool. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, and I'll see you soon.